The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Susan Rice, says the new U.S. administration will make Iran's nuclear programs a top diplomatic priority and will pursue direct talks with Tehran. CCTV's U.S. correspondent, Zhu Hua, has been talking with a senior fellow from the Brookings Institute about U.S. policy on Iran and the future of U.S.-Iran relations.
Do you think that President Obama will accomplish his promise to conduct this direct diplomacy with Iran? Will there be any preconditions set for the Iranian side?
Well, I think that President Obama has made clear during his campaign that dealing with Iran would be one of the most important priorities of his new administration. For too long, the United States has taken an approach towards Iran of trying to set preconditions on our side for conversations with the Iranians. I think the smart policy the United States should pursue now is to agree to engage in dialogue, diplomacy with Iran with no preconditions on either side. We should take the posture that we're prepared to come to the table, talk directly to the Iranians. They can raise the issues they want to raise, and we will raise the issues that we want to raise. We do not need a dialogue of the deaf. We need a dialogue of two parties listening to each other.
But there are other people who doubt whether it's the right time for the United States to start this direct contact with the Iranian side. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think that you can always wait for the perfect time, and you will find that that time never comes. We have a change in administration in the United States. We have a president who has promised to engage not just with Iran, but with our adversaries around the world if they are prepared to engage directly with us. We should do so in close consultation with our partners and our allies and with other key countries around the world. China is a member of the United Nations Security Council. It has a special responsibility for international affairs. We should engage with our Chinese counterparts about how to talk to Iran. China has influence in Iran. We should talk to the Chinese government about how that influence can be collaboratively used to reduce tensions in the region and to discourage Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon.
And what do you think is the root of the differences between the two countries? I mean, people have different thoughts about the same thing because they have different background, different culture, different social system. So do you think that have a major effect on the issue?
Iran feels it has grievances against the United States that go back to the 1950s and to American support for the Shah's government and for the Shah's repression of Iranian freedoms. Iran has a long list of issues that it feels it has not been given fair treatment for in the past. But at the same time, the United States has issues. The holding of American diplomats hostage for 444 days, an act of profound wrong to the American people. But the point here is not to argue over the past. We can't change the past. We may be able to explain to each other what our feelings were then, but the point is to focus on the future. The United States and Iran have very important issues to discuss, and the best way to deal with those issues is to discuss them face-to-face without preconditions.
Thank you, Mr. Riedel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.